and welcome to my channel. My name is Anya, and in this declutter video I will be going through all of my eyeshadow stuff. So I have cream shadows, singles, some primers in this bin, and then we're going to also go through my eyeshadow palette drawer. If you haven't seen any of my previous declutter style videos in this series, I'm not actually getting rid of anything, so if you want to watch someone get rid of stuff, go watch someone else, because I'm not going to get rid of anything unless it has expired or is very old or is unusable for me. The reason is just I have no one to give these to, I have no place that I can donate it to, and I don't want to throw things in the bin if I can still use them in one way or another. What I am instead doing, I'm taking out and weeding out anything that has expired, that goes in the bin, but I'm also picking out the items that I want to leave in my collection over the next couple of years through project panning. Now I have a lot of eyeshadows, and you're going to see a lot of eyeshadow pans because eyeshadows are one of my favourite makeup items, so I have a lot of them. But I am hoping next year that I have at least learned something and I'm not going to buy as much as I have in the previous years. But let's just get through this bin here. So I have decided to start with my eyeshadow primers, that's what makes most sense. I have the Rimmel Magnifies Eye Primer. This is one of my favourites, I really like it, but this is not cruelty free, and it is also in my project pan, and it is getting old. So I am going to try and finish it this year. I'm not sure I will, but I am going to pan this until it is gone because it is getting old. This Decay one as well is getting old. It was purchased around the same time that I bought the Rimmel one on the same trip to Copenhagen, so I know that this is also getting old. I'm not that fond of this one. I think it is a bit too matte on my eyes sometimes, but I have used a lot of this year. This was for the beginning of the year and I really enjoy it, so I'm going to finish it, but I don't think I would repurchase. And then I have these four. I have this one from Wonder 2. This is their Prime and Behold Professional Primer for Colour Cosmetics. I think this can be used both on the eyes and the lips. And it has, I don't know if you can see, kind of like an iridescent shine to it. I haven't actually used this, but I do think I have opened it. So it has that almost bluey purpley shine. I have never been that fond of the smell of this because it smells kind of like coffee to me, and I'm not a big fan of that. I am going to try and pan this eventually. I'm going to focus on the two I'm currently using, and then I'm going to move on to this one. But I don't see myself repurchasing. I won this in a competition with the brand, and I'm really happy that I got to try it. But I have some favourites that I'm going to talk about in a second, and this is not sadly one of them. My favourites include the Fenty Eye Primer. This is very similar in a way to the Rimmel in terms of consistency and texture, and I really like that texture for eye primer. I also can use this under my eyes if I need anything under the eyes for under concealer to help prevent creasing. This is one of the best ones and I really love it, so absolutely keeping in category number 1. And then Makeup Mecca has a eyeshadow magnet, which is their eyeshadow primer. This is also absolutely amazing. Again, a similar texture to the Rimmel and the Fenty one, but this is in a pot. But I really do like it, so I'm going to keep this in category 1 as well. And then I have this, which is a NYX eyeshadow base in a white shade that I bought to intensify colour when I played with colour, but I haven't really used it all that much. It is white and it's kind of greasy feeling. So I honestly don't see myself using this a lot, so I'm going to put it in the to pan pile and see if I can actually pan it. And I don't think I would repurchase because I don't love it. So for this one, 4 are going into the to pan pile and 2 are going into the keep pile. So this category I've just called glitters because some of them are in liquid form, like the Stila Glitter and Glows, and I have these eye coats from Makeup Mecca here. Then I have 3 glitters, and I'm going to keep these 3 loose glitters up here. These 2 are from Tanya Burke Cosmetics. I have the shade Let It Snow, which is a white with what looks like holographic glitter, And then I have Midnight Magic, which is a what looks like black with gold glitter. I haven't played with them, but I do want to keep them. Then I have this purple glitter from NYX that I have used before, and I really love how it looks. This is in the shade GLI11. It's from their Face and Body Glitters. Sorry, it's in the shade Violet, and I really like it, so I'm going to keep that. But then I have these ones. I'm going to start with the Makeup Mecca ones. So these are their eye top coats, and this was, I think, part of their Christmas release last year. So I have this silvery colour here, which is very, very pretty. This is in the shade, let me see here, Once Upon a Time. I have this pink one here called Make a Wish. This one I think I wore for my birthday or something last year. Or maybe it was the next shade coming up. This is very similar to the glitter liner that I kept in Cristiano's Girl, where it has that sort of pink base and then it has that yellow green glitter running through it. That looks very, very pretty. Then I have the shade Magic, which is more what I would probably classify as rose gold, and it has a bit more of a base colour compared to these last two. I really enjoy that. It's very, very pretty. And then I have New Star, which is a gorgeous copper. Very, very pretty. And I really like these, but they are not better than the Stila ones. So even though I love these, I'm going to put all of these four into the to pan pile because I do want to pan them. And then I have my Stila Glitter and Glows here. Well, I'm missing one, hold on. Yeah, I was missing one, my only full size one. So I have the shade Diamond Dust. These little ones are all minis that I got in a kit last year. And this is a silvery one. Very similar to the Makeup Mecca, it just has a lot more glitter to it, which is why I love these. I have Smoky Storm, which is a gorgeous, almost taupey grey with a lot of silver gorgeous glitter. I have Smouldering Satin. Also, maybe this is more taupe, I'm not very good with describing colours, but very nice and glittery. Rose Gold Retro is next. And this has a lot more of a smooth base colour, I should say. I really like how that one looks, that's really pretty. Then I have Kitten Karma here, and I think I actually have doubles of this shade, so I have one in my backup drawer as well. Absolutely stunning. So nice. Nice sort of light brown with a lot of that silver glitter. I have Plum On, which is a plummy colour. And then I have this large one is Bronzed Belle, which is a limited edition one. This is in my project and I've taken the stopper out because this is very much drying out. So I'm trying to just get the last little bits of product left, but I really, really like that colour because it's just so glittery and gorgeous. It is a little bit similar to Kitten Karma here, it's just slightly deeper in tone. And then I have these two, which are technically their Glitter and Glow highlighters, not the eyeshadows, but I wouldn't wear these as highlighters, I would wear them as eyeshadow. This one is Monarch, which is very nice and light pink with a lot of blue, purple, green, gold glitter to it. It's kind of similar to that shade, which was Make a Wish from the Makeup Mecca one, where it has all those different colours. And then I have Painted Lady. So with this one, I drop everything around here. With these ones, they dry out, and I know that, which is why I've been focusing on the Steeler one, the Bronzed Belle one, that one. And it is still usable once it has dried out, to the point where mine has dried out, where there is still some creaminess to it. You just have to use your fingers to get it on. But I'm going to continue to pan this because I'm almost out. And then with the rest of these, I think I'm going to pan Painted Lady. It's just not a colour that I reach for. And I'm going to pan Plum On, which is that purpley one. I don't reach for purple all that much, and this is very pretty and I think is going to be useful for those purple looks. But I kind of need to keep reminding myself to wear purple. So I'm going to pan that. And I'm going to pan Kitten Karma. I do love this shade, but I have a backup and I don't need to keep two of them. So I'm going to pan that one so I can access my backup. But the rest of these I am going to keep in category number 1. If you haven't caught on, I have 3 categories. Number 1 is for items that I love and will keep. Number 2 is for items I want to pan, and anything that is old and expired goes into category number 3. So that ended up being a pretty even split, 8 to pan and 8 to keep. These are all of my non-Colourpop Super Shock Shadow cream shadows. So I have 3 eyeshadow sticks here, and then I have 2 Colourpop Jelly Matte shadows, and these 4 are the Makeup Mecca Foil Me eyeshadows. I'm going to start with the stick shadows. I have this one from Art Deco. This is their long lasting eyeshadow stick in the colour 08. I love this. This is an absolutely gorgeous rose gold, but it is also very, very old, so I wanted to pan that. These 2 are from Tanya Burr Cosmetics. I'm currently panning them. I'm going to keep panning them. I have Melt My Heart, which is a brown colour that also falls out of the tube because it's broken. And I have Sweet Sugar, which is a light champagne-y colour. I don't really like these Tanya Burr sticks, but I can make them work for now, so I'm gonna keep making them work. But those are that. I do love that rose gold shade. Let me see here. Let's start with the Jelly Matte shadows. I have Not Today, which is a green, and then I have I Own You, which is this almost peachy colour. I have heard that these jelly shadows do dry out kind of quickly. This one is definitely still creamy. Let me have a look at it. Yeah, I do really like this green. So I'm going to keep this in category number 1 for now. That was a very thick swatch though. And then I Own You. That is much drier. I bought these at the same time. I can still definitely get enough for a swatch, but that is much, much drier. So I'm going to, that's kind of disappointing. I know I'm not going to repurchase any of these Jelly Matte shadows anyway because I don't love the texture all that much. That's kind of disappointing because that colour is stunning. I'm going to put this in my to pan pile to try and get some use out of it before it completely dries out. So that's sad. I only had these for like 2-3 months maybe. So these are the Foil Me eyeshadows. I ended up having eyeshadow all over the table. I will clean up later. I have Foxy, which is a taupey colour. I don't really know how to describe these. They don't feel like a Super Shock shadow. They are more creamier and more sort of, I don't know, playable. They kind of feel like a super metallic, one of the metallic ones that are very, very creamy right away. Then I have Obey, sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background, which is a light gold colour. That is pretty. I haven't used these all that much. Some of them I don't think I've used at all. This one I haven't used. This is Rebel, which is a rose gold. If you can't tell, I do love a good rose gold. So pretty. And then I have this one, which is called Hot Magnet. This was the first one I bought that made me really like them. This is a really nice warm red. Kind of similar in undertone to the undertone of that Jelly Matte Shadow, but without the glitter. Let's see. I am going to keep all of them in category number 1 because I really like them. And I'm going to play some more with them, but for now these are staying. So for this one I have 5 in category number 1 to stay and 4 to pan. So these are all of my powder eyeshadows. I have these 4 pigments that maybe should have been with my glitters and stuff, and they are the only thing not swatched on my hand. But I'm going to keep all of them. They are from Makeup Mecca. They're called Pigment in a Box, and I have Flexin, which is a nice copper. I have Legit, which is like a taupe purple colour. I have Kaching, which is this lovely green. And then I have Girl Power, which is this really nice, I don't know, coppery bronzy gold. They're all staying. And then I have these swatched on my hand. So I have this one from NYX from the Advent calendar last year. This is Whipped Wonderland and Whipped Mocha. It is right there, keeping in category 1. I really like that. This one is the Sweet Tooth shade, which is a really nice glittery gorgeousness one. It's right here, keeping that as well. This one is from Licorice Lane in Deep Trouble, and it's a very, very deep plummy purple. I don't really like the look of this. It is kind of dusty looking, so I want to try and pan that. Then I have one which doesn't really show up on my skin. This is Cookie Cutter from the Sweet Chateau. And it's a very, very light beige with a slight pink undertone to it. I want to try and pan them. I don't really use these types of shades. This is Candy Stash, also from the Sweet Chateau. This is a glittery pink. It's right there. Again, I don't reach for pinks, so I want to try and pan this. And this is Twisted from the Licorice Lane one, which is a really nice grey with a almost like bluey undertone. I want to keep this because I like the look of that. And then I have these ones. So I have right here, which is Wet n Wild Brulee. Want to pan that. I don't reach for that shade. This gold here is the L'Oreal one in Gold Mania from the Colour Riche one. This is currently in my project and I want to try and finish some of it before it goes in the bin. But same with these two, I will be talking about in a second. And then this one here is this one from number 7 in Starry Lights, which I got in the number 7 advent calendar I think 2 years ago. Very, very pretty shade, and it's more yellow than the last ones, but again, not a colour that I use. So I want to pan this. And then I have this one here, which is this one from L'Oreal in Macron Vanille. No, I don't like it. I'm trying to pan some of it. I would not repurchase. This one, again, also from the L'Oreal Colour Riche line, is Over the Taupe. It's a very pretty colour, but I'm trying to pan it, and L'Oreal isn't cruelty free, so I do want to pan that. And then I have this one from number 7. This is in the shade Weechy, which looks like nothing kind of on my hand next to the shininess of that L'Oreal shadow, but I really like this colour in combination with some of these ones, so I do want to keep that. Then I have the purple here. This is the NYX Ultraviolet shade. I want to pan that. I have a Colourpop purple that I like better. Some more of these number 7 shade. This is Truffle, which is right here, and I love that colour so much. Definite keep. This one as well, which is Matte Mocha, is also a definite keep for me. This one, which is right here, I am a little bit unsure about, because it is taupey, but it's almost grey taupe. Not a lot of brown in it. I think I'm going to keep it and play with it for now, but we will see what happens. And then I have some here. This is from Makeup Store. It's their micro shadow in Animal, which is this taupe colour right here. It's kind of a boring colour in the pan, but I really love this on the eyes, so I do want to try and pan this because this is old, even though I absolutely love it. I also want to try and pan this one from MAC. This is All That Glitters, and it is a gorgeous rose gold shade right here. But I have found cruelty-free dupes that I like better, so I want to try and pan this. It is also getting old. And this final one here is from NYX. This is Sprinkle Town. It was a highlighter, so it wasn't my highlighter declutter, but it's too dark as a highlighter on me, and I put it in my eyeshadows because that's how I will use it. But it is not a colour that I will use all that much. It's kind of that grey brown colour with a goldeny green shift to it, but I do want to try and pan that. So for my powder eyeshadows, I'm putting 12 in the to be panned pile, and I'm keeping 11. So lastly, in this container, which is my single shadows, I have all my Super Shocks. Forewarning, this is my favourite eyeshadow formulation currently ever. So I think there's a chance I'm going to be keeping most of these in my category number 1, which is my loves. But let's get them all out and get them swatched on my hands. So I have them all swatched on the back of my hands here, and I'm just going to start from this corner. So I have Super Hardcore here, and I am going to pan this because I don't see myself using this, and I much prefer this colour right here, which is very similar in tone, but it just seems a bit more intense. So I'm going to try and pan that one. I'm going to keep this shade, which was from the Halo Top Colourpop collab in the Mint Chocolate Chip Duo. It's in Tassel, which is a whitish silver glittery gorgeousness. Then I have this one from the Disney Designer Collection. It is number 3 there. This is in the shade Hi Ho. I'm also going to keep this. I really like that. This is one that I also really enjoy. It's Sailor, so definitely keeping that. This one right here, which is this one, is Fluffy, and this one, that one, and that one all look very similar. So I was sort of wondering, have I swatched the same shade multiple times here? But I'm going to hang on to this one because I like how that looked and I like how that swatches. This one right here is the one I was liking better. This is from the Colourpop NKLA collection, and this is in Catitude. So I'm going to hold on to that one. Then I have a pink gold shifty gorgeousness at the end there, and this is Twitter painted, I think. And I'm not normally a fan of pink eyeshadow, but I really like pink and pink shifting golds. So I want to keep that. Another here from the Colourpop NKLA. I have all 4 of them. This is Bow Wow, which is that sort of peachy, peach to gold colour. Very much enjoy this. Will be keeping that. Then I have another one from the Disney Designer Collection. This is So This Is Love, which is a really pretty taupey colour. I'm going to also hold on to that one. This is the For Your Birthday one in Birthday Wish. It is a little bit more sheer than the last one. It's that one right there, but I do like the purpley glitter that runs through this, so I'm going to hang on to that one. This one is Sundance, which is that. And I'm going to try and pan this because this is the least intense of the three that I liked. And I think I don't need three of them. So I can pan that one. This is Wattles, which is that lovely, slightly lightish mauve brown colour. Really, really like this. I tend to pair this one with Sailor. And I really like that look, so I'm going to hold on to that one. Then I have their 5-year birthday colour right there, which was, I got birthday treat, and it's really pretty. This one is not for eye area, which was disappointing, but I am going to keep it and use it, and I do really enjoy that colour. Then I have this one also from the Disney Designer Collection. This is Be Our Guest, which is this really nice mid-tone pink. As I said, I'm not a big fan of pink, but I wanted to hang on to this because I really like that colour and this formulation as well. Then I have this purple, which is A Whole New World, also from the Disney Designer one. It's the one right there. I love looking at this. This is like one of my favourite tones of purple, because it is this sort of greyish, light purpley gorgeousness. And I love looking at this, and I don't wear it much. I'm going to hold on to this, but this is one that I'm going to love when I have it, but I doubt I will repurchase unless my usage and love for purple eyeshadow changes. But for now, it's staying. The final one here is DGIF, which is a red base with what looks like almost like a greeny duochrome shift to it. I don't reach for this one a whole lot, and this is honestly one I think I can try and pan because I don't reach for it. This one, which is the other duo from the Halo Top one, I'm going to keep. It's not my favourite shade of green, it's that lime green there, unlike neon, but I want to play around with this some more, and so far I'm enjoying it. This is the green right there, also from the Disney Designer. This is Under the Sea. Not my favourite green, but I'm going to hold on to this because I like it. Then I come to coppers and stuff, and you can probably see there's a tone that I prefer, which is warm browns and coppers. So I have this one, which is Lightning Bug Super Shock. This one is really dry and flaky, so it's kind of hard to get looking nice. It is gorgeous once you get it on though, because it has that really nice, intense, glittery gorgeousness. But I have a colour that is very similar to this right there, that is less flaky and easier to use, so I'm going to try and pan that colour. Then I have probably my all-time favourite copper shade, and this is Kathleen Lights. It's that one right there. Absolutely adore it. I have a backup. Love this to pieces. Definitely keeping. Another one of my favourites is Colourpop Cornelius. It's that one. It's my perfect crease colour. I absolutely adore this. Love this. Have backups. Will keep this. And wish I could buy them and have them for eternity. This next shade here is Fade In. Gorgeous. I really like warm browns and these kinds of tones, so I'm definitely holding on to that one. Then I have the third one in the trio of shadows that looked near identical. This is in the shade Amaze. I'm going to hold on to this one because this is also one of my favourites. And then I have the other flaky, glittery, gorgeous, coppery one that was less flaky. This is the, I think, third, fourth, I can't count, from the NKLA one. This is in Puppuccino. Absolutely love this. We'll be keeping that. Then I have this, I don't know what to call it, dark brown. This is the Seeker. Very pretty, and it looks more purple in the pan than it does on my hand. It's there. But this is one that I have rehydrated because Colourpop shadow, these Super Shock shadows are creams, so they do dry out. But I find using a silicone primer, mixing into these ones, they get a bit too dry to use. Rehydrates them and makes them like new. So I've done that with a couple of them, which is why some of them look kind of worse for wear. and I find that the matte ones dry out faster, but it works amazingly, so I will want to keep that one. This one is in the shade Up in the Air, which is that purpley tone there. I don't really love this. I find that this one to be not as evenly nicely pigmented as a lot of the other ones I have. This is another one that has been rehydrated, and this was very, very dry when I got it. So I want to try and pan that because I just don't love how that applies. Then I have my final one from the Disney Designer collection, which is right here, and this is almost there. Gorgeous brown with a lot of silver glitter. Love this colour, will be keeping it for sure. Next one here is Blaze, which is a nice bronze, and this is currently in my project pan. And from the Weatherlighters quad, this is not my favourite. My favourites are the Kathleen Lights and the Cornelius shade. But I've been using this a lot this year and it's really grown on me. But I do want to pan this because I have a backup and this is not my favourite colour. So in the pan pile it goes. Then I have the final shade, I don't know how to count, from the NKLA Colourpop one. This is Aristocat. This one, that right there. This also looks a lot darker and more purple than it is, but I like this a lot, so I do want to hold on to that one. Then I have this one right here, which is White Rabbit, which I think of as a darker, more red version of Kathleen Lights. And it kind of is, and I really, really love this, so I want to hold on to that. I then have this colour right here, which is Melrose, which is a warmer, it's a very orange brown, and I love this paired with White Rabbit, so I will be keeping that. My final two here are Chromoscope, which is that one, and then I have Drift, which is that one. I prefer Chromoscope to these two, so I want to pan Drift and keep Chromoscope. So to not my surprise, maybe some others, I have 7 here that I'm trying to pan, and I think I ended up at 26 or 27 in my to keep pile. So these are my eyeshadow palettes, and what I've done, I've just piled them on the desk here. So I have several piles, and I'm just going to go through them and pick out and essentially separate them into the categories that I'm going to do. I have these two little trios here from Wet n Wild. These are the old formulation of the Sweetest Candy and Silent Treatment one. I want to pan both of them. I have this Isadora quad and I like this one a lot. This is the Eyeshadow Quartet in Sunkissed. I really love that orange shade, but these two shimmers on the side here are also stunning. So I'm going to keep this in category number 1. I have another Wet n Wild one here. This is a 5-pan one. I think this is the newer formulation. This is Bare and Beautiful. I like these colours, but I want to try and pan this because Wet n Wild isn't cruelty free. I have this another trio here. This is Walking in Eggshells. As you can see, I've used a lot of this. I have barely got anything left in the top pan, and I've hit major pan on both the other two shades because this is currently in the project pan. And I'm going to keep it there to try and finish it. Not this year, but maybe next year. Let me see here. I have this Tanya by Cosmetics Too Tempting eyeshadow collection. This was the Christmas collection from 2017. And the eyeshadows in here are very, very pretty. I haven't touched them. So into the 2-pan pile this goes. I have a Charlotte Tilbury eye quad here, and this is in the Dolce Vita. Apologies for my phone going off here. And these colours are very, very pretty. I was a bit disappointed by this glittery shade because it is not as intense as I liked it to, but I do love the colour scheme and I love the other colours, so I'm going to keep this in category number 1 for now. I'm just taking randomly, let's do this one. This is a Body Shop highlighter. This is the Shimmer palette in collaboration with Leona Lewis in Oh Dear Bronze. I love this as a very pretty copper eyeshadow. I tend to just swirl my finger in and then wear it like that. Like this a lot, we'll definitely be keeping that. I have this Pixie 5-pan, 6-pan palette, I can't count today. I'm going to pan this. I bought this in Florida, so it is getting a little bit old, but I also just don't reach for these colours all that much. So I wanted to try and pan that. I also want to pan this Metal Matte Kat Von D palette. This is the mini one, and these, I don't like this palette at all. These matte shades are very hard to work with, and I don't like how they look. These shimmers are gorgeous, so if I can't get the matte shades to work, what I will end up doing is most likely just depot the shimmer shades and toss the rest of the palette, because these matte ones, the times I have used them, they don't blend, they don't work with each other, they don't work with other colours. It's just not a good matte formulation. So to pan, I have this Smashbox palette here. This is the cover shot in, I think, a Blaze. This is very, very pretty. It has very nice tones, but I don't reach for this palette a lot, so I'm going to pan this. This is the old Comfort Zone 8-pan palette from Wet n Wild. This is an absolute gorgeous rose gold colour. I have almost hit pan on that, and I want to pan this because it is getting very old. So I think I will make this one of my focus palettes for 2020, especially the row here on the left with the warm tones, because they are gorgeous. Let me see, I have this stack here with several of these NYX kits. So I have Bangkok here, which has 4 eyeshadows, 2 blushes, and it had a soft matte lip cream in Bangkok, which is a gorgeous purple shade. I don't reach for these palettes, so I have Bangkok, I have Dublin, which has other tones, I have New York, which is very pretty, I have Santiago, and I have Toronto, and I don't reach for these, and the reason is just they're so big and bulky. I just don't want to take them out of the drawer. What I am going to do is I'm going to put all of them into the 2-pan pile, not because I dislike them. I like the shadows and the blushes and everything in here. The times I've used them, they are absolutely wonderful to work with, but I don't reach for them, so I am going to try and depot these at some point. In the future I will have to get a palette to depot them into, but all of these are going into the 2-pan pile, and I would like to depot them because they just take up too much space. I have 4 Tanya Burr quads here. I have my Escape, which is a green toned one. I have Hollywood, which is a really nice warm toned one. I have my Paradise, which is a pretty peachy rose gold tone. And then I have Enchanted Dream, which is a nice taupey colour. I love these formulations a lot, so I'm going to keep these in category number 1. This Sonia Kashuk palette is old. I want to try and pan this. I've hit pan on 2 shades with a dip in this one and this one as well, so I want to try and pan this next year, or at least see how much of it I can use. I also want to try and pan this Kat Von D palette. This was the 10th anniversary one, and the colours in here are stunning, but I haven't used it, so I would like to try and pan that. This is a little Colourpop palette that I have single shadows in. So the bottom row here are Colourpop shadows, and then these on the top here are Sydney Grace. I'm going to keep this palette because I love them, but this shade here from Sydney Grace is blushed, and it is the most beautiful intense rose gold. It's very similar to the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone shade that I swatched, and also very similar to All That Glitters single from MAC, but it's just more intense and it's gorgeous, so love that. Will definitely be keeping. I have 2 palettes here that are in my project pan at the moment. This is Makeup Mac and My New Lover. I've hit pan on the secret shade. These eyeshadows are gorgeous. I like the formulation a lot, but it's in my project pan and I'm going to try and finish as much of it as possible, and I want to continue panning it. So I have this Shaaanxo palette and I want to try and finish the lipstick portion. as well as the eyeshadow portion. I don't reach for this one a lot. I loved this when I first got it. I do love this yellow and that warm toned brown. So I'm going to put this in the to be panned pile at the moment, but I see myself keeping this once I have finished the lipstick portion of it. This NYX Ultimate Brights shadow palette I'm going to keep. I really like the colours in here. They are easy to work with and really nice and pigmented. So I'm going to hold on to this one. This Linda Hallberg Metallic Mysteries 2 is one of my favourite eyeshadow palettes. I adore the shades in here. This green and this red have this amazing, almost blackened base. So they just look amazing on the eyes. I used this one for Christmas last year and I loved it so much, so I'm definitely keeping that one. This Colourpop Honey palette as well. I love yellow eyeshadow, so I knew I had to have this once they released this. I don't like the pressed glitter shade in the middle. I'm not going to use that on my eyes, but I'm going to use the rest of these. And I think I have used Oh Behave and maybe Dandy. I think I used them together and I like them a lot, so we'll definitely be keeping that one. This Fenty palette, this is the Moroccan Spice one, is very, very pretty to look at, but it is not one of my favourites. I am more drawn to this corner over here with the warm tones, not so much the greys and the blues. They are very, very pretty, but this isn't a favourite of mine. However, I'm going to keep it in category number 1 because I do love the looks I get with this. I just don't reach for it all that much because I don't use all the shades, but I'm going to hold on to this one for now. I have two of the Colourpop Disney palettes here. I have all 3 of them. The third one is right there. I have the Villains Misunderstood palette. We'll be holding on to this one as well as the Disney Designer one. And then I also have the Midnight Masquerade, which I will also be holding on to. Let me see here. I have 2 palettes here. These are single shadows that I have filled them with. These are all Colourpop shadows. So I have my, what I've called my cool toned palette here, so it has the purples, the pinks, the blues and the greens. And then I have my warm toned palette here. Absolutely love the Colourpop pressed eyeshadows and really like these palettes, so I will be holding on to these 2. I'm running out of room on my desk. This Linda Hallberg Spectral palette I also really enjoy, so I'm going to hold on to this one. Both of these 2 from Dose of Colours as well. I haven't played around with them very much. I recently got these, but it's the Mickey and the Minnie eyeshadow palette, and I think the Mickey one has a highlighter and the Minnie one has a blush, so I want to hold on to those. I have these 3, let me just shuffle these in here. I have these 3 Fenty highlighters. So I have the Mimosa Sunrise and Sangria Sunset. Very, very pretty colours. I have 7 Day Weekend and Poolside, and then I have Sandcastle and Minted Mojito. I'm going to hold on to all of these. These are gorgeous formulations. The only ones that would really work on me as a highlighter is this light blue and this light purple. The rest of them are too dark. But I can see myself using these ones on top of blush. And they're in my eyeshadow palette drawer because I use them mostly as eyeshadows. But I'm going to hold on to these. Then I have a whole bunch of Makeup Mecca eyeshadow palettes here. I have Back to Basic Chilled Tones. I have the Hot and Cold Tones, which is very warm. Then I have the Burnt Toes, which is their warm tone palette. I have the Donut Bakery one, which I adore. And then I have the Ice Cream Bar palette, which is gorgeous. So I'm going to put the chilled tones into my To Be Panned pile because I don't reach for cool tone shadows all that much. And I'm happy to have them in this palette, but I'm not going to reach for them all that much. So I do want to eventually pan that one. But the rest of these I'm going to hold on to. So I have this Tarte palette here, and this is the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2. I don't really know what to do about this one because I feel sort of meh about it. These 2 eyeshadows are gorgeous in the crease on me. They are very similar to Cornelius when I mix them together, and they show up lighter on the skin than what they look in the pan. The rest of the palette I'm kind of just meh about, so I am going to put this in the To Be Panned pile but it's not a priority to pan it. I don't use it all that much. I have the Fenty Kilowatt Foil Freestyle Highlighter Palette, and since this is my eyeshadow drawer, you can probably guess I use it mostly as eyeshadow, but I really like this. I love these three at the bottom here and that one, but I also surprisingly really like these two. I'm not the biggest fan of blue, but I can get this to work and it looks absolutely gorgeous, so I am for sure holding on to this one. Let's see, I'm going to just deal with my ABH palettes here. So I have Prism, Subculture, Novena, and then I have the Jackie Aina palette, which came to me yesterday from when I ordered it. So the Prism palette is one of my favourites. I very much enjoy this, and I like to pair it with Subculture, which I also really love. So I think these two pair wonderfully together. I feel like I'm in the minority when it comes to loving Subculture, but they are absolutely gorgeous colours and they look stunning. I love pairing All Star and Adorn together. I really like that look, but these two I'm definitely keeping. The Novena palette I'm not as fond of, and I just think it's not enough purples. I bought this sort of to introduce myself to purples, but it only really has two. It has that one and that one, but the rest in here are gorgeous. But I don't like this palette as much as I like the other two, so I want to pan this one. And the Jackie Aina palette, as I said, I got this in the mail yesterday. Haven't touched it yet. Bought it because I like Jackie Aina's channel, I like her personality, and I love the look of this. And I'm really excited about Wigglies because that red colour looks gorgeous, and so do these purple, the Shookington and Big Wig one. But one of the colours I'm also very excited about is Ginger, because I love these sort of warm brown orange colours. So I'm definitely keeping this one. Then I have a couple of Colourpop ones here. So I have Element of Surprise, which I think I got at a discount a couple of months ago, about a year maybe. I haven't really used it, and I'm not gonna hold on to this, I'm gonna pan it. I can see myself really using essentially all of the ones around the border, but I'm not that big on that pink, and that lavender colour is very pretty, but I wouldn't wear this in the lavender colour in combination with anything else in the palette, so for me this is one I would pan. This I will not pan. I might eventually pan it by use. This is the Yes Please palette. This has been travelling with me. I absolutely love this, so will definitely be holding on to this one. And this is the I Think I Love You palette. Again, absolutely love this. I've also taken this travelling with me. This doesn't look as much used as the Yes Please one, but I love this as well. My final two here are pretty big. These are BH Cosmetics palettes. So I have the Kali Bible Deluxe Edition. Gorgeous, gorgeous colours. I used this a lot when I first got this, but this is currently at the bottom of my drawer and I tend to forget about it, which isn't great. But I am going to pan this because I just don't reach for it. And since buying this at least a year and a half ago, if not closer to 2 years ago, I have gotten a lot more fond of copper eye tones, and there's no copper in here. So I'm going to pan this, and I'm going to like panning it, but I don't want to repurchase. And this one, as well as the Zodiac palette, has just made me realise that I don't love large palettes. I am fine with the Colourpop, I'm fine with the size of the Colourpop one, I'm fine with the size of the ABH palettes. I especially love the 9-pan size that's from Colourpop, but anything this size is too big for me. They end up at the bottom of the drawer and I forget about them. I'm fine as well with the large empty palettes that I have filled with singles, because I've filled them with singles, but I am not that big of a fan of large palettes. It's also partially the reason why I've never purchased a Morphe palette. They're just too big for me. But this Zodiac palette I bought because everyone was loving it. and it is stunning. It is gorgeous. The matte formulation, which is this inner row here, is absolutely gorgeous. The shimmer's phenomenal, but I don't reach for it because it ends up at the bottom of the drawer. So I am going to pan this. I have no idea when. This is very low on the priority list of the items to pan. So I think when some of them leave my collection, or in the event of the next boxes, the 6 palettes that I've had there, 5-6 palettes, I can't count today, sorry about that. When they get depotted, I'm going to end up with a lot more space, and then I might be able to see this, and that's going to help remind me, but I'm going to pan this for now, and I might end up depotting this palette as well, if I can see that that helps me use them, or depending on how much space I end up with in the palette, then I depot the NYX shadows into. I might end up depotting this and the Kali Bible one as well, maybe, but I really like this, but I am going to pan it. So I hope you can at least see most of the stacks here. This is the cut-off line. So these are the items I wanted to pan, and I think I counted 24, maybe 23. And this is the keep pile, and I counted, I think, 33. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you stuck around to the end, thank you so much. I know this is a long video. Next up, I will be doing my lip products, and that will most likely be in 2 parts because I have a lot. This video has taken me 2 days to film because I cannot film for very long at a time, and looking at my lip products, that's going to take me even longer, and I want to swatch them. So the lip products are probably going to come up in 2 parts, but I'm going to post both parts on the same week, so you're going to get 2 videos that week instead of just 1. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!